Welcome to Real Talk Savannah. Today we have Stephanie from Cheer Savannah, and I'll let her go in to tell about her amazing gym and her history here. You go ahead. Go right ahead.
Thanks for having me, Michelle. I guess you saw, did you see my TikTok? Is that how you reached out to me to start doing the podcast?
Yes, absolutely. That's how me and Missy and I found her, and I was like, let's get her on. What's happening?
So yes, after 25 years here in Savannah, we have sold to Top Gun Savannah, which is one of the most, arguably best gym in the country, based out of Florida. So we have sold Cheer Savannah to them. That will start effective, I believe, May 1st. So we've got
it's coming up quick.
I know. I've only got like 6 weeks left here, and so we've been here in the Savannah area for 25 years. We started in Georgetown.
Wow.
So woman to woman,
Yeah.
just, people are always asking, like, how did you start? And I think it's so, just any advice I have for women business owners in the area. When I was 23 and we put an ad in the Savannah Morning News,
Okay.
I was, like, oh my gosh, let's do a competitive cheer team. There were none.
Uh-huh.
We were trying to do a competition at the school that I was helping the cheer team. It was
Okay.
actually at Calvary Day School here in Savannah.
Gotcha.
And back then, it wasn't Calvary Day, it was Calvary Baptist. We were very Baptist.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh no, you cannot do that competitive cheerleading thing. So we were like, okay, well, let's do All-Star, which will allow you to compete, but outside of like a sanctioned school event.
Gotcha.
So we put an ad in the Savannah Morning News. 24 girls showed up. And we started. But
That's a good group for your first time then.
24. Nobody got cut. And
Okay.
so this was back when you could take ads out in the paper, right?
Yep.
And so we rented space at Savannah Country Day.
Gotcha.
And so every Sunday we rented that gym. And and the football coach was like, yeah, I want income revenue for their program.
Right.
We rolled out the little
It's a
cheer
good
mats
trade.
and rolled back up. So we did that for 2 years, starting there with like minimal
And
overhead.
so was your background previous in cheer?
So I started my first little business when I was 15 because I was a cheerleader in high school.
Gotcha.
And grew up doing dance and gymnastics, cheerleading. So because I was a tumbler, all my friends were like, will you help us flip? So my mom was a single mom. We were poor, to use this, be frank. We came from nothing. We had government assistance. We lived in government-funded housing. Literally had to ration food. But my mom was too proud to ever apply for like free meals. So don't make me cry. So it was a struggle. I had to help her pay the rent.
You've come a long way.
Sometimes the lights would be cut off. So I had to work. So I worked at the Waffle House during the night shift and would go to school the next day when I was 15. When I was 16, I was like, okay, I'm good at tumbling. Everybody wants me to teach them. I'll start a little business. So at the YMCA in Cochran, where I grew up, I started with my best friend and we taught tumbling. We had 100 kids.
Wow.
We charged $25 a month.
That's wild.
That was $2,500 a month. We divided it evenly.
That is so impressive.
I made more money than my mom when I was 16.
That's impressive.
So I helped her pay the rent, the bills, the groceries. Wasn't like I got to go on like a cruise or anything.
So that's kind of what sparked it in you. And then fast forward in your 20s, you start the first gym. And then how did you end up in Georgetown?
So we were at Country Day.
Okay.
And then we grew. We had
to get your own spaces.
So they were like, we needed more practice days. So we rode around. We found this warehouse in Georgetown with no air conditioning.
Oh my Lord.
So we would roll up the bays. We had water hoses. We would.
And did you rent it or did you purchase it?
We
rented it back then.
Yeah,
okay.
we built a sign with a piece of plywood, put it on 2x4s, painted Cheer Savannah on it. It was like let's talk about a small shop.
Okay.
I was the only employee.
Wow.
So I did the office, did all the coaching, did mommy and preschool classes during the day, and I had 2 babies. So it started that way. I had 8 teams. So we had 150 kids. And so then one of the dads came to me and was like, Stephanie, I'll make you a deal. I own property in Pooler. It has air conditioning. I will give you I was like, I can't afford air conditioning. We can't afford it. He was like, I will give you the deal of your life. Get my daughter out of this heat.
We're all we're in Savannah.
It's 110 degrees.
I know.
Girl.
Wow.
So,
but the fact that people still they were still coming there because they saw the value in your coaching. So that speaks volumes.
we loved it. Those kids.
Yeah.
Honestly, my favorite
And we didn't have
times-
anything like that here yet.
There was nothing here, right? So people would show up and go, where are the pom-poms? They didn't know, or they would be like, well, my grandmother did baton at Maryland Yeoman's.
Yeah, they're just because they weren't accustomed. They didn't know
there was no
competitive
cheerleading.
cheer.
Right.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I had to say, like, the old packets would explain there are no pom-poms. We don't twirl batons.
Right.
You do tumbling. Like, they just genuinely didn't know anything about the
Gotcha.
sport. So we moved here to Pooler.
Which is this location that we're sitting in now.
No. I rented
Okay.
space, what is now, I believe, CrossFit across the street.
Gotcha.
So I rented from them.
And y'all, there's nothing in Pooler.
There was nothing. I had
know.
never been to Pooler before then.
Oh, wow.
It was still like
There was nothing on
farmland.
Pooler Parkway. Like,
No,
there was nothing.
dirt roads. And so
And then finally, I think it got a Walmart and an apartment complex. Like
Waffle
things,
House,
so,
baby.
yeah, things were popping
Yeah.
up. But so you
So
rented
rented
the
in
space
Pooler.
from a dad.
from a dad, right
Gotcha.
across the street. And so one day, we were just booming. And the best thing I feel like God really had a hand in this is that when we moved to Pooler, the area put me really close to South Carolina, really close to Richmond Hill with the
'cause
interstate.
this is centrally located.
But then, so I got Statesboro. We got Richmond Hill, and we got a ton of Bluffton and
Right.
Hilton Head.
so you grew even more when you moved from Georgetown to Pooler.
blew up.
Well, the interstate, I mean, 95 is right there. That's so true. And 16. Yeah.
So I had the interstate.
You didn't even
both.
think about that. You just think about AC.
Yeah, we were just trying to.
That's why that was God thing.
Yeah. So then we exploded. Then, and so I was able to hire staff. And so that's when we really turned a corner. And my little girls and their little group that they started with kind of grew up. And then because we were able to put cheerleading in the school systems, that's when all the schools started getting competitive cheer.
Gotcha.
It started a little bit before that. We were still in Georgetown, but Richmond Hill, their cheer program came alive and started booming. Then we started helping South Effingham and doing their choreography. And so the schools, Calvary took off Savannah Christian.
Gotcha.
So then all the moms were like, oh my gosh, for my daughter to make school cheer, you got to be so good. We've got to send them to Cheer Savannah so they can get the skills required to make 5th grade cheerleading. It was no longer just sew up and be loud. Right. So the city, the area, it's kind of really absorbed cheerleading as a sport then. And people were so nice, like Big Frank from the local news. He would always come to our showcases.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every year and
so that helped you grow even more.
Yeah, and the media.
With B10, I give a lot back to the community and the people that believed in me and what I do, and because there were times I didn't believe in myself or I would question myself. So
I understand.
It's really good to have those people show up with the gym, to rent the gym, the community show up. It makes you feel validated for the hard work because it's hard work.
And I think people are really, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to help the kids.
Well,
it's always about the kids.
And I just would like to, I want to say I don't have to work with parents. I feel like it's hard to work with parents because everybody, I think my son is the best thing ever. So I'm sure everybody thinks that their kid is the best thing ever. So it takes a special person, and this is just my opinion, it takes a very special person to work in a competitive environment, but also with parents because you have to make hard decisions sometimes. And so it's really a testament how you grew and how people stuck around and also how your community stepped up, and we should all, learn from that really in everything in life. Like
it taught me a lot. And, and the interesting thing about it is I was a mom too, and I was a young mom and I had no family here. And so it became family for me.
Right.
My babies were raised by my fellow cheer moms.
Right.
And I'd come to practice and they were like, Stephanie, where is Sailor? I'm like, sleep in her car seat in the car and don't wake her up.
Right.
And so they would go and pass my babies around.
Yeah.
They were thumb sucking. And so it became family and community for me. And I learned a lot. Heck, some of the cheer moms were 40. I was 23. Do you remember being 23?
I mean,
and an idiot.
So 23, I would like to erase those years of my life.
So they were raising
I mean, I guess it's where we learn what not to do, in our 20s. But I 23 was really rough for me. So I can only imagine doing that, running a business. It's still, so I said this at a speech I did the other night in Richmond Hill. Somebody asked me to speak at a fashion show. And I said, just keep going, keep pushing forward with your business because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. You're going to have these crazy things happen. You have to keep pushing forward. And I looked in front of me. I was like, I have a whole product line that now is in, I have wholesalers all over the country. I've trained over 500 women how to spray tan, but back in my 20s, I was sued. So I looked at it, I was like, my first one burned down in Pooler, and my second one I was sued. So these are the moments that you learn from. So it's so impressive to keep that you kept going. So you ended up in Pooler, and we're women, so we trail off for just like the emotion behind owning a business because there's so much emotion with dealing with everything that you deal with, the community, but then how'd you end up here in this amazing job? So on my way here, I just want to say, on my way here, I was like, she can't rent this place. If she owns this place, she's a very smart businesswoman. And we'll go into why we're doing the whole show today. But I thought that on the way here, I was like, so smart because Pooler has blown up around her. If she owns that place, I'm going to be so impressed. And sure as shit, we get here and she owns this place. So let's talk about how you ended up from the no AC to the AC to renting to now owning this gym.
So it was about 12 years ago. I talked regularly with my accountant and I was like, listen, I'm booming and space equals money. Mm-hmm. I literally was turning customers away because we didn't have any more space.
Right.
So I need a bigger space. And he was like, my rent kept going up. Anybody that's ever been a tenant commercially, the rent kept going up. And I was
Pooler was growing, your rent was going up.
My rent was $7,000 a month.
Yeah.
So I was like, for $7,000 a month, I can make a mortgage.
Right.
So I reached out and got some assistance with the Small Business Association and the SBA. I had a wonderful representative. Mm-hmm. I had to put down some cash. Well, you and I talked about this earlier. I worked so much. I would do camps all day.
She didn't have time to spend any money. She was
worked
working
all night, every single day.
She said she would sleep at the gym.
And so if I had a camp the next morning at 9 and I wasn't going to leave until midnight anyway, sometimes I would just stay if I had to clean or vacuum or whatever because I was exhausted. And at any rate, so my accountant was like, you know what, Steph, you've got the income. You can make this work. You're just going to have to hustle. So you know the hustle.
Yep.
I found a piece of property. He said, hey, look out your window. That piece of property right there is for sale. Mm-hmm. So I literally looked out the window, saw this piece of property and thought, man, nobody would have to change location, right? And so I bought the property and was able to, I went to an architect and here in Savannah and I built my dream gym. And I'd never been in a cheer gym. Wrap your brain around. I had never been in a cheer gym.
You had this whole cheer.
And so I was
cheerleading company and had never been in an actual cheer gym.
Just ours. Now I'd seen them on the internet.
Right. So where'd you get the inspiration for this gym?
What went wrong in the past. Yep. What we needed.
Learn trial and error.
What we needed. And so I was like, I want office space that we can have parent meetings. I want it to be a girl haven. I wanted to empower women as a girl mom. It's going to be
excited to come here.
Pink and red and chandeliers, and I want it to be girly and fashionable and feminine and not be, I wanted girls to embrace that because we're going through this era where people were like pink wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Like being female was somehow like you had to be like hair slicked back, no makeup. Like, no, there's a place for power in femininity.
Yeah.
Right. And so I wanted to celebrate being a place that was all girl because I was a girl mom. I was like, there will be no boys in this gym.
Right.
We are going to be all women. I don't want to worry about any sexual anything, but my girls, no male instructors. No, I was super protective.
Yeah. Like a safe haven.
I was
well, because also in the cheer world, you're coming in, you're changing clothes, you're running around. This is what I remember, and I was never in competitive cheerleading, but I was in softball and I was in cheer, and I'd sometimes get out of school, run there, and have to run around in my underwear for a minute to get my shit together to go to my practice or my game. So that's really something to take into account, to have a safe place for these young girls to be able to just run around in their sports bras.
But sports bra, and just, I wanted them to be proud. And so I was just very big as a girl mom.
Right.
And this is how I raised my daughters. Like, we're not cheering for boys. This isn't like cheerleaders for school where you're
right.
celebrating the boys. You're cheering for yourself.
Yeah.
You're celebrating yourself.
It's competitive,
Your former,
it's
your
athleticism.
teammates that are women. We're all coming together, supporting each other as girls. And that starts learning how to do that. Clap for your friends. Started here. When you're 5 years old and your friend got a flip that you didn't have, you cheer for her.
Right.
And so there's so much more than cheer
There's real
for me.
core values, life values in cheerleading. In any
it's
sport, it's supposed to be in any sport. So that's I love that you brought that up. So you built the gym to cater to this dream that you had, and part of that dream was a safe haven, a real girl power place, which I love. That's so awesome. I want to talk about where you are now. 20, how many years? 25 years later, where are you at now? We talked about you selling to
Top Gun
Savannah.
So I've sold, and Coach Eddie was like, Stephanie, people don't understand what that means. And so, Eddie, so we were able to share with, and he's been with me for over 10 years, like 12 years, I think. And so what we did, business wise, for people out there who are interested in business or nosy or curious, I sold the customer list, right? So I don't know how Ep10, I mean, like every business is different. I kept the name Cheer Savannah.
Right.
Didn't sell the name. I just sold the customer list.
Then you're renting the gym out to them.
And I own the building, so I'm renting.
This is where I'm impressed. I'm impressed that she, starting where she started, she owns this property. She's built this. That's huge. Not many people build a business. I have a business advisor and I have a financial advisor now to get me to that point. So I think that's what brought me here today, because
I'll help you.
That is so impressive. Men do it all the time. We have to kind of navigate it, especially with a female-based business that you built on your own and you built from, and you have your own way of doing it. Just like you said, you've never been in a competitive
male
gym.
Contractors, when you're a female trying to build a building, I didn't know what I was doing. My husband was busy doing football, and then we got divorced. So I was literally on my own trying to go, okay, wait, I don't know if this should go here. Where do the gutters go? What are gutters?
Right,
I didn't
so
know.
intimidating.
Do you want this side and you want this
and
metal?
are they being truthful? Or are they taking advantage of that
and I definitely
naiveness?
I've learned a lot about building. But those are things I'm glad I learned it. But here is some exciting things for everybody. I own the property right beside the building. So basically it was like this much property and the building didn't take up that much space, which we love it at Cheer Savannah. We put like carnivals on that property.
You can do events.
We do
and
Easter.
Stuff. Yeah.
But what I am doing now is I have plans drawn for another building to go there.
Okay.
And so my engineer drew a sort of like what's across the street, like a retail center.
Okay.
Like you see on Puller Parkway. Yeah. And it had like 7 different retail centers.
Okay.
That then like the site work has been done. The parking lot is poured, the lights. So the property's been bought. So the only expense I would have was actually just erecting the metal building.
Okay.
So then I could rent that out. Well, when I told Coach Adrian, who's one of the owners, he and his mom, of Top Gun Savannah, I said, I'm not trying to get in your business and tell you what to do. He's 28 and excited. It's going to be great.
Right.
I said, can I tell you what I would do if I were you? And you could take it or leave it. What I wanted to do, my vision, was to put a world's training center beside this gym and have 2 buildings. This one for level 1 through 4 or 5, and that one for the older kids, level 6, because you've got the 3 and 4 year olds,
so
5-year-olds.
You're guiding him based on, you built this off your needs from there. You've had this growth, and now you've built this. That's so smart.
Yeah, and so now he is going to have somewhat of a monopoly, if you will, because he bought out the other cheer gyms. He's renting the space in Richmond Hill that one of the cheer gyms was at. I don't know what the arrangement was, but I know that Crown Elite is dumping into here, which is another gym as well. So there won't be any competition. So people won't get mad when they don't make the team they like and stomp off and go to the next gym, which is what we've all dealt with for years.
For years.
They don't get their way.
Of
competitive sports or kids. And so you don't like it. You don't have anywhere else to cheer. I think you'll have up to 700 customers. We have 300.
Gotcha.
I think you will have 700 customers.
You pretty much took your 25 years experience and coached him, sold your list. He's going to lease from you, gave him advice on this place next to it.
And he's coming from a franchise, one of the best in the country.
Right.
See, doesn't
still,
necessarily need my
there's
input.
a lot
He's getting
there's
guided
a
by
lot
them
of
as well.
value in what, because you're in this area, the years of experience you have. So definitely don't discredit yourself, because he wouldn't have thought of that if you hadn't told him.
Well, I showed him, and he was
know?
like, Steph, I would think that would be amazing. I'm like, you can, if you're in the cheer world, my friend Elaine Pascal in New Jersey, they have that. They have Shooting Stars. Their world's team has their own facility. So if you're on a world's team here, if we build him the world's training center next door, you have your own building, which if the boys want to take their shirts off, if they're listening to music that maybe the little kids' moms don't like, it just alleviates all of the little kid, big kid in the same room drama. So he said he would be, so then I would be able to rent that out. If they decide not to, I'm going to build a building there regardless.
Right.
So I'll have that rental
because
income.
you still have real estate.
And
I
then
mean,
I
that's
have
so impressive.
the property in Richmond Hill.
Yep.
So we were going to build a location in Richmond Hill, and bought land there right on 95. Super excited about, I wanted to build my daughter a location there. So we were going to have like a triangle area. And since I have two daughters, we're going to have this one there, and one on the other side. And so that property there, somebody has approached me about building a warehouse there. So it may be a cheer gym. It may be, a Tractor Supply. I'm not sure.
Right.
But now I guess I'll just transition from being a cheer program, an all-star business.
To coaching or to advising.
Consulting. So we'll keep Cheer Savannah the name. I'm going to keep Cheer Savannah the website and start uploading all of our old artifacts from the past 25 years. So you can go back and see the routines and keep up with the kids that are cheering in college now.
Right. And then you'll just advise, and will you advise other coaches and moms?
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to help with uniform design. We've kind of been known for that. So I'll help other gyms branding and marketing with their gym design. I do think Cheer Savannah was one of the best branded gyms in the country. Everybody knew the big pink bow in the back of the butt was us. So I'll help with uniform design. I'll help with people wanting to start their own cheer gym or improve their cheer program. I have a lot of questions.
And that's a good transition for you. I think 25 years is a good run, and I think that's a good transition.
Yes.
And don't you think it's a more fun transition? You're kind of going with what you love to do with it?
No.
You don't think so?
No. What I love is the kids.
Yeah.
What I'm passionate about, I'm not passionate about business. I'm passionate about kids.
Right.
And so I think I'm going to be broken. I am brokenhearted.
Yeah.
I've even gone to therapy
almost like
about
emptiness
that.
syndrome, kind of like what you deal with when your kids grow up and leave.
And I did that. And so when my girls both, they were only a year apart, graduated, then I thought, well, at least I've still got the kids here. And this filled my cup, right? So now I'm trying to think, what is life going to look like for me, not being able to be poured into, because I learn from the kids.
You'll figure it out.
And so, but now,
but because it's becoming taxing on your body, like you're physically tired.
Oh yes, I had a.
She was saying earlier she flips the kids. The kids are, she's a tiny woman. They're it's
bigger than me.
She's helping them tumble. She's picking them up, so it's becoming taxing on her body. It's probably, it's a lot of hours. It's later hours.
Most people my age are not still coaching. Most gym owners, and I think this is so interesting that people don't realize this. Most gym owners, they're not in the gym coaching.
Gotcha.
Female gym owners at 50, they run the
Pass
business.
the baton on and run the business.
They run the business, and they
but
hire
you're passionate about the kids, so this is a huge weird transition.
Now, I have great staff here, and we hired Coach Allison a couple years ago. So she's been like the general manager of the gym and manages the day-to-day, which has been a blessing. Answering the phone and emails and somebody on site every day, all night, too. So I was able to step back to manage the business, like compare insurance, which one's cheaper.
Right.
We made more money, saved money, became more efficient because I was able to work at my business, not in my business. I was able to mentor and coach the coaches. And I don't know if you've read that book, but so I'm obsessed now with a little app that you can have the books read to you in like
me too.
conditioned form or whatever. But what is it? The drop and ripple effect.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give my coaches like, hey, it's all about the experience for the kids. It really isn't about winning. It's about loving the kids, being a good example for them, helping them be better women. Winning comes and goes. It's fine. And then they go and whatever I'm pouring into them, they're pouring into the kid. Right. And because I can't coach 300 kids.
No,
right?
there's no way.
But I can coach 15 coaches. And then people like Coach Eddie, who's been here, and he is amazing. He can coach the coaches, and then they can
It's a ripple effect.
And they can go on to the kids.
That.
Then the kids go on to their schools. They're the captains.
You're passing the baton
They're
on.
doing that. And do you know how many of our kids are now school coaches?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So they're, and three.
I feel like it is something that you just will miss, like when you're immersed in it through your childhood, and you're looking, and they look up to you, or they look up to whoever is their coach. It is something that you naturally pass on if you're passionate about it.
We have the best kids. They go on to sororities. They cheer in college. They make nurses, teachers, wives, moms. And so I think of all the things that we've done here, just look at the people. If they've come from Cheer Savannah, like, I promise
you should be very
they're good
proud of
people.
yourself. You should be very proud of yourself. I definitely want to have you on again. I want to do a follow-up.
Okay.
I think, like, for me, the follow-up is the aftermath, because we're kind of in the beginning. We're here in the beginning of process of your retirement, of you on this new chapter. And
what's next? After
what's
empty nest, like
next?
50-year-old
And
moms,
she's like,
no
I don't know
kids.
what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I think that would be a really, really good follow-up. And
Come get me out of that crazy house. I'll
I'll
be
come get
depressed.
you out. I'll get you out the crazy house, and I will. And I would like to follow up, like, with this decision on passing the baton on to this bigger, to this to Top
They'll
Gun.
be great. And they will provide the area of Savannah, these families, something we weren't able to. And they will be, I promise you, they'll end up being one of the maybe world champions. And Adrian's a world champion coach. They're bringing in resources that I couldn't offer, that we didn't have.
Right.
And so they'll go from being one of the best to the best.
Yeah.
And so it'll really elevate Savannah.
Right.
People will move here
That'll
for
be a
it.
good follow-up, and Savannah's growing, and I'll end it with this. Savannah's growing. We've got a new plant coming here. We're
Ports.
bursting at the seams. We can't build enough construction for the people that are moving here. And this is something that is going to be offered to the children that are moving here, to the parents.
Boys and girls. He's gonna
I
really
love that.
elevate like a coach. He's bringing some boys with him.
Okay.
So now, Savannah's still old school conservative. All the boys here play sports like
Right.
football, basketball, baseball,
Exactly.
and didn't really feel as comfortable looking at Aiden
It's going to
cheering.
elevate it to a whole new
Now
level.
it'll be accepted and cool for the guys to cheer.
Yeah.
So it'll be something awesome for the city and the
It's going
area.
to be really, really good. So that's where I want to do a follow-up. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for coming on.
having
Thank you for sharing
me.
your
Good
story.
luck
I know
on
it's
B10. Come tan me, girl.
I am. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll have all of her information about the gym, and we'll do a follow-up. I want to hear the aftermath.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.